Good afternoon and welcome to Chrysler Arena in Ann Arbor as we are minutes away from tipping off the 2022-2023 Michigan women's basketball season. The Wolverines begin their season by welcoming in the Daemen Wildcats for an exhibition match, and I'm joined by my partner Jake Singer. And Jake, the biggest storyline coming into this season is the loss of Naz Hillman. How or who will Michigan turn to make up for what was a dominant force in Hillman?
Yeah, well, it's great to be here, Owen, as always, so I'm really excited for this matchup. Naz Hillman, the premier piece of this team last season for Michigan, averaging 21 points per game, 9.4 rebounds last season, so you're right. There's going to be a huge void that head coach Kim Bargerico is going to need to fill with that void. And she's really going to have to rely on her players that she relied on last season. You have players like Leah Brown returning for her fifth year. She's already named in the preseason All-Big Ten team. And also you have players like Emily Kaiser, who averaged 9 points per game last year, 8 rebounds per game, also returning for her fifth year. Both of those players are going to bring a huge presence in the locker room in terms of veteran leadership, but also both those players can score. Leah Brown averaging 14 points per game last season, 3.4 assists per game. Emily Kaiser, of course, Maddie Nolan, Lila Filia. You have to rely on these players that you've relied on the last 3 years.
And many of those names are in the starting lineup for the Wolverines tonight. It's going to be Maddie Nolan, Layla Filia, Leah Brown, Emily Kaiser, and Cameron Williams. Let's go back to last season. It was a major success, to put it simply. Many records broken for Michigan. In early February, Michigan reached the highest ever ranking in the AP poll in program history at number 4. They had their first program win over a top 5 team that came against Baylor on December the 19th, and they reached the Elite 8 in the NCAA tournament for the first time in program history. If Jake has said, a large part of that success was Naz Hillman. But Michigan returns a lot of their other key pieces. Maddie Nolan, Layla Filia, like you mentioned. It's going to have to be a team effort. Who is going to make up for the inside presence? Who's going to bring the size that Hillman brought, the rebounding, that defensive interior ability that will be absent without Naz this year?
I think it comes with 2 players. I think Emily Kaiser, returning for her 5th year, as I just said, was a huge presence last year. She broke out. She hadn't started her first 3 seasons. She comes in last year playing big-time minutes and really contributed to this team. I also think you're relying on Cameron Williams. She's seeing the starting lineup for the first time today. One of the forwards starting here from Michigan. She only averaged 2.7 points per game last year and 1 rebound per game. But being in the starting lineup, that is a really big jump, and I think you're going to have to really rely on her on the inside.
Some background on the opponent, the Daemen Wildcats. They already played an exhibition game against Pittsburgh last Sunday, a game in which they lost 61-51. They're a private university in Amherst, New York, comprising of about 2,500 students. They're a member of the East Coast Conference in Division II. Their women's basketball program began in 1986, and the most wins in program history came in 2005, finishing with 27 wins. They are coached by Jennifer Banker. Took over in 2016. I believe you mentioned before the broadcast that she won Coach of the Year in that conference.
She won Co-Coach of the Year last season for the Daemen Wildcats. They had a fantastic run in their conference. I think if you're the Daemen Wildcats coming in here, it's the first game played in the state of Michigan since 2009. It's their one and only opponent they're playing in Power 5 this season. They played Buffalo last week. They only lost by 10. So you're going to have to see how they compete against this Michigan team. But this is a really big test for both teams here. Daemen seeing if they can compete with the big dogs, and Michigan needing to take care of business against a team that they should beat today.
Big opportunity here for Daemen, as you said. Starters for Daemen: Gabby McDuffie, transfer from Niagara County Community College; Elena Page, the junior guard; Caitlin Motz, the junior guard; Michaela Ivey, the 5th year forward, interestingly enough, is from Grand Rapids. And to round out the starting lineup for the Wildcats is Natalie Angeletti, the junior forward. We are just about to hit tip-off here in Chrysler Arena.
It's going to be a fun one today.
Taking the tip for Michigan is going to be Cameron Williams, who you mentioned for the Wolverines. And Michaela Ivey. Here we are, teams line up, and Michigan wins the tip. Ball to Leah Brown, and she'll run the offense here for the Wolverines. 10-minute halves here. Quarters, rather. Brown inside. Williams, one dribble, missed the layup. Here comes Elena Page for the Wildcats. 0-0 here early in Ann Arbor. Swing the ball around is Daemen. The wing is 15, Ivey. Inside, lost the ball, McDuffie. Ball goes out of bounds. Good defense there by the Wolverines. Brown taking point guard duties here for the Wolverines. She brings the ball up, the 5th-year senior, an integral part of this program. over the last half decade. Michigan getting into their sets, finds Kaiser on the right wing. Kaiser pass inside. Feely, a layup is good. Good ball movement there by the Wolverines, and they strike first.
Fantastic ball movement there, finding Feely at the end. That's what you're going to have to do if you're this Michigan team. Without Naz Hillman, as we were saying, you have to find these players that have proven to score for your team, and finding Layla Feely for the first points of the season was crucial for this team.
Off-ball foul on the other end of the court is going to go on Cameron Williams. So baseline out for Daemen. Moving the ball here in the corner. Now back up top, number 3 for 3 is good. It's Elena Page from downtown. Gives Daemen the lead 3-2. 9 minutes to go here in the first. Michigan moving the ball around, right back to Williams on that low block. Going to be a travel called. Williams took one too many steps. Ball to Daemen.
Missed layup, and now a trial for Williams. She just has to calm those nerves a little bit. As I said, she had not started a single game last year for Michigan. It's a big moment for her. She just has to realize that she knows how to play her game and needs to trust her instincts and needs to trust her team.
Page point guard duties here for Daemen. She hit that early 3. Up top, Ivy, the Grand Rapids native, trying to take Williams off the dribble. Williams stuck with her. Layup is no good. Rebound Wolverines. Up top, Leah Brown. Kaiser dribbling left side, lost control of the ball. Foul called on the play.
That was really good assertiveness there by Emily Kaiser, taking the ball from the top of the key, dribbling it all inside, forcing the foul on the layup, seeing the free throw line. That's what you're going to have to do for this team. Emily Kaiser, fifth-year senior, like that's showing assertiveness, dominance, and she knows she can take this defense with her size and strength.
So Kaiser will step to the line here for the Wolverines. Chance to give them an early lead. First free throw is good as it bounces in. Kaiser grad year makes the second free throw, and Michigan leads it 4-3. Veteran piece on this team for the Wolverines. Here comes the crafty Elena Page. Finds her teammate McDuffie on the wing. Back up top, Motts. Motts takes off the dribble. Left-handed layup is good. She got right past Emily Kaiser there. Daemen retakes the lead 5-4. Left wing, Feely on the drive. Foul call is going to be offensive. So Michigan, a couple turnovers early here.
It just appears, I mean, as we had said, this is Michigan's first time they're playing all season. They're playing one exhibition game before the regular season starts next week. Daemen, on the other hand, just played Buffalo last weekend. They're fresh. They know what it's like to face competition other than themselves. It is not out of the ordinary to see what we're seeing right now, where Michigan looks a little sloppy and Daemen looks a little bit more organized currently to start this first quarter.
Daemen offensively. Page up top. Finds Angeletti. Left side, Motts, swing it corner. Good ball movement here as Page spots up and hits the 3. That's her second of the quarter.
Wide open there once again for the 3 for Daemen. Just a little sloppy defensively for Michigan. They really need to hone in their craft because this could get ugly early.
Daemen 3 of 4 from the field, 2 of 2 from downtown as Michigan nearly loses it. Daemen deflects it, however, and it stays with the Wolverines. So Daemen red hot out of the gate thanks to a couple of Elena Page 3s, and they lead 8-4.
This team's is going to take some getting used to. I mean, as we said, they lost their premier scorer. There's a few other players in. They got a few transfers, a few freshmen too. So currently they're just trying to work out some kinks. This is a nice move by Kaiser.
Brown finds Kaiser inside. Missed it, got her own rebound, goes up with the left, missed that one. Rebound goes to Daemen, and here comes Page. So Michigan struggling thus far interior offensively. It is early, however. Ball nearly went out of bounds. Good defense there from Michigan. On the wing is Ivy for Daemen. 10 on the shot clock. Ivy drives, finds Motts in the corner. Motts thinking about what to do with it. Finds Ivy back right wing. Good defense, Michigan so far. 5 on the shot clock. Ivy down the lane. Ball out of bounds. Goes to Michigan. Excellent defensive possession there from the Wolverines.
Great defense there by Williams. That is what we've been needing to see. She struggled a little bit on those first few possessions, but strong defense, milked the shot clock all the way down to 0 and forced a late turnover there. That was fantastic work on the defensive end for the Wolverines.
So Michelle Sidor, the senior, checks in for the Wolverines. So Michigan gets it back offensively. 8-4 here, Daemen, approaching 6.5 to go in the first quarter. Whistle called. Brown had the ball. It's going to be a defensive foul. Ball remains with Michigan. So Brown really taking that facilitating role offensively so far for Michigan. She's been the dominant force on ball.
Currently, Michigan is without a true starting point guard this season. They lost a few of their players last year. They're still trying to figure out. There's a few players in the mix. Leah Brown is one of them. Of course, one of the top scorers. She gets fouled, but Kim Barger-Rico said in her opening press conference she's going to kind of use 3 players to man the point guard role. You have Leah Brown, who of course can play shooting guard as well, Ari Wiggins, who's a sophomore, and as well as the Oregon State transfer Greta Kampschroeder. So seeing Leah Brown in this role currently at the starting position really bodes well for her role, as well as Kim Barger really gives us insight of what Kim Barger-Rico is thinking as her point guard role right now.
Brown currently at the line for the Wolverines. The shooting foul. She makes both free throws, and she is on the board for the first time this season, looking to be certainly one of Michigan's leading scorers as the year progresses. 8-6 Daemen here. Whistle called. Ball goes to Michigan. It's going to be an offensive foul on the Wildcats, and slowly but surely momentum's starting to swing a little bit. A couple good defensive possessions here for the Wolverines.
Again, it is early. It's 4 quarters playing here. It's not like men's basketball, so it's only 8-6 with 6:34 left here in the first. But as you're right, just every possession here gives us more and more insight onto how this team will play this season. And this is a really good chance for all these players as well as the coach.
Kaiser left hook is good. Beautiful move there by Emily Kaiser. Knots the game up at 8. She found her inside and she went to work. Here comes Paige the other way for the Wildcats. Finding her teammate Ivy. Left elbow. Kaiser sticking with Ivy. Ivy a couple spins. She went up, lost control. Ball tapped out of bounds by the Wolverines. Stays with Daemen. 8-8 here, approaching 6 minutes to go in the first quarter. Michigan's inaugural game is an exhibition match against the Daemen Wildcats of Amherst, New York. It's 8-8. Ivy right wing. Finds Estrella newly checked in. Spin move, puts it up. Bank shot is no good. Rebound Felia. So Michigan a chance to take the lead here. Felia, quick dribble, down the lane, high pass in the corner. Ball back up top to Nolan. Finds Kaiser right back to her inside. Big dribble foul called as Emily Kaiser will head to the line.
You can really tell the game plan for Kim Barger-Rico right now is to get it inside to Kaiser. They're not trying to take too many three-point opportunities early on. There's been 4 straight possessions there where they've tried to get the ball inside to Kaiser. You can tell she has a really strong height mismatch already with the Daemen defenders, and also being one of the premier scorers for Michigan. You can tell they want to play the inside game despite Naz Hellman still not being here.
First free throw is good for Kaiser. Gives Michigan a 9-8 lead. Second free throw on the way and good. So Michigan perfect from the line to start this game. They lead it 10-8 over Daemen. Here comes Paige. Ball picked off. All the way goes Seedorf for the layup, and Michigan extends the lead to 4. The defensive prowess continues for the Wolverines. They're on fire defensively.
Very basic pickpocket there by Seedorf. Really nothing to it. Just put her arm in there, poked the ball loose. She was all by herself going down to the end of the court for the left-hand layup and in, making it 12-8 for Michigan.
Paige gets a screen from Ivy, getting double-teamed, loses the ball, out of bounds, ball to Michigan. And this bench is really feeling it here, as well as the crowd here in Chrysler and Ann Arbor. No football game today. So, in Ann Arbor at least. It's in Rutgers. But
they're in New Jersey tonight.
They're in New Jersey. So, women's basketball gets a spotlight here on this Saturday afternoon.
Elise Stuck also just came into the game from Michigan. You can see the bench is already starting to get a little deep. It's an exhibition game, so we're expecting to see everybody on the court today. Just don't know when or how for how long.
We saw the same thing with the men's yesterday, emptying the bench quite early. Michigan 3 is no good from the corner. Offensive rebound is there, though, for the Wolverines. Whistle blown.
And that was Stuck with the offensive rebound, so already making an impact early. She's one of the forwards. As we said, we were trying to fill this void of who's going to man the forward center position. You're seeing it's probably going to be by committee this year. You have 4 or 5 ladies that can really play that position well, but not one of them has really made that jump to really stick out just yet. So it's good to see that Kim Barger-Rico is really emptying this bench already, especially at that position, and just seeing what she can work with.
And it certainly seems like it's going to be much more of a team effort. And this is already a team game, don't get me wrong, but last year was dominant by Naz Hellman. Really the identity of this team, both offensively and defensively. Like you said, though, point guard by committee, center by committee. And Arico is using this opportunity as an exhibition match to kind of empty that bench, see how certain players work with one another. And we saw it yesterday with the men's. They emptied the bench quite early as well. I know you were calling that game, Jake.
100%, and we expected this for both teams today. I mean, that's the whole point of exhibition games, right? You're playing competition that it doesn't matter what the end of the score is. This season starts next week, and both the men's and the women's basketball teams have holes in their lineup where there's a little bit of question of who's going to start where, who's going to even be the backups at where. So, especially with this women's team, it's really good, I think, for the fans to see, but also for the coaches to see currently who's stepping up to the plate, who's playing hard, and who's just going to take control and say, this position's mine, this role is mine as a starter.
Elise Stuck had that offensive rebound before the timeout. She is checked into the game for the Wolverines, the junior wing. Michigan leads it 12-8 here. Just under 5 minutes to go in the first quarter. Daemen got out to a hot start shooting the ball, but Michigan came right back with some stellar defense and turned it into some buckets offensively. WCBN will be on the coverage of women's basketball all season. I'm Owen Klein here with Jake Singer. It's good to be back in Chrysler. My first game being called. I had, I believe, 5 or 6 last year. It's good to be back in here. Bands, just an immaculate vibe like no other.
It's fun. I mean, it's free for anybody to come to the game today, given it's an exhibition game against Daemen, so you can definitely tell the middle sections are pretty filled up. Behind the baskets, not so much. The Maze Rage is a little lacking. I'm a little disappointed in my fellow students, but nonetheless, the parents showed up. The Michigan fans from the Ann Arbor area are here. There is still a decent crowd here in Chrysler.
Oh, certainly. And it's only an exhibition as well. So as this team continues, hopefully, to win games, that crowd will fill up even more. But like you said, not too bad. You can definitely, hear this crowd when Michigan really got it rolling a couple minutes back.
It's really cool, too, especially when a crowd's like this where it's not as packed or as loud. You can really hear the players talking, the coaches talking as well, and it gives you an extra insight into the game.
Certainly. Sideline inbound for the Wolverines. Cedar has it up top. They lead it 12-8. They go right wing to Stuck, looking somewhere to go with it. She throws it away. Daemen comes up with it. Here comes Montgomery. Will now man the offense for the Wildcats. Kick ball.
Threw it at Leah Brown's foot. Nothing she could do there. But kick ball nonetheless. Michigan, their whites today with Daemen in their blacks.
Allows Michigan to reset defensively. Daemen will take it baseline. In for the Wildcats, number 11, Julia Howard, the sophomore forward. Michigan comes up with another steal. All the way inside. Stuck, lost control. Ball stays with Michigan, though.
Really risky pass there by Lila Felia trying to get inside the Stuck. She was kind of double covered, tried to float in there, and did get it inside, but she was just too far underneath the basket, had nowhere to go. So ball went out on Daemen, and Michigan can reset here.
Checking in for the Wildcats will be number 24, Angeletti, a starter. She goes back in quite quickly. Cedar to inbound for the Wolverines, baseline. Good defense here by Daemen, and that will be a 5-second call. So Daemen, excellent job locking up defensively. Forces a turnover for Michigan. They get the ball right back. 4.5 here to go in the first quarter. 12-8 Michigan over Daemen. Montgomery finds Angeletti right wing. Up top, Howard. Jab step, Montgomery takes it down the lane. Lost it out of bounds. Ball goes to Michigan. Michigan's first a lot of turnovers here early. Been quite stout defensively, especially as the quarter's gone on. Yep.
Michigan pride themselves on defense last year, really being a presence inside with holding teams from under 50 points for most of the season. So it's no surprise that's been one of the major keys to this point.
Brown on the dribble. Layup went in and out. Good move by her. Here comes Daemen on the fast break. Estrella pulls it back as Daemen gets into their sets. Ophelia playing tight defense. Wildcats moving the ball around. They find Angeletti on the inside. A couple big dribbles. Michigan defender stays with her. Howard, pump fake, drives down the lane. Contact, foul on Michigan. Will go on Maddie Nolan.
That was a ferocious take inside by Hoyer of Daemen, showing her boot strength and power, forcing the foul. That was really, really good offense, honestly, knowing there's a size mismatch between her and the other defenders.
Certainly a nice pump fake by Howard. The sophomore forward. She got inside, drew the contact. She'll head to the line after this brief break. 3.5 here to go in the first. Michigan leads it 12-8. Michigan 3 of 8 from the field. Haven't hit a 3 yet, but they are 6 of 6 from the line. They are dominating on the inside.
You know, Owen, I'm really intrigued but by seeing the fact that Kim Rico, although she's really rotating the forwards, she hasn't really done much with the guards. We've seen Lila Felia and Leah Brown really being in this game through this entire point. We haven't seen Ari Wiggins or Oregon State transfer Greta Kampschroeder yet, so I think that's a really interesting storyline to this point that Kim Rico really feels confident about her guards currently, and she doesn't feel like she needs to make a change just yet.
Oh, it's super interesting. I know we talked before the game that Kampschroeder could be a big part of this offense. Could be that point guard that kind of facilitates everything, but as you said, we haven't seen her yet. I'm sure she'll come in as the game goes on. Howard to the line, misses the first as the action resumes here. But Michigan and Daemen, for that matter, subbing frequently. Both free throws are missed by Howard, so Michigan retains that 4-point lead. All the way up goes Felia. Left-handed layup is no good. Good pass there to set it up by her teammate as Daemen comes up with it. Fast-paced game here in Chrysler. Montgomery sets up the offense. Howard spots a 3, and it goes. Julia Howard from downtown, after missing both of those free throws, cuts the Wolverine lead to 1.
That Felia missed. She tried the Euro step. She really should have had it. She kind of airballed it right there. It was a little off center. She probably lost the ball at some point, but really one she probably wants back right now.
Kaiser inside with the left. That one rolls out. A couple tough luck misses here for Michigan.
Just ball not fun in the bottom of the basket for a few of these shots here. A few shots probably all these players want back, and in practice probably can make 9 out of 10 times, so it's nothing to really to be concerned about just yet.
Howard swings it corner. Estrella missed the 3. Offensive rebound for Daemen, though. Montgomery. Estrella back with it. Gets a screen. Montgomery right wing now. 10 on the shot clock. Looking for someone to go. Finds Howard by herself. Howard, nice bounce inside. Montgomery missed the layup. Rebound, Daemen. And they miss a layup, so Michigan, Kaiser gets the rebound. 12-11, here comes Michigan. Felia goes right up with the right. Missed it, but a whistle is blown for a foul.
Good to see Felia not afraid to go back inside, missing the left-hand layup, tries with the right, just misses, but she gets fouled on it, so it's excused, and she gets to go to the line for 2.
Crockett and Kampschroeder come in for the Wolverines. So first look at the sophomore transfer out of Oregon State, Greta Kampschroeder.
Greta Kampschroeder, 32nd ranked prospect going into college, chooses Oregon State over Michigan despite Michigan being in her top 3. Just couldn't see as much time as she probably wished last year at Oregon State, so she decides to hit the transfer portal, comes back to Ann Arbor, where she said in her own interview with Brian Bush that it might have been one of the places she wished she'd gone to in the first place, but she's going to be kind of filling that role in the guard spot. She hasn't really played point guard much at Oregon State, but Kim Rico said her vision for her is to be a point guard for this Michigan team, so it'll be really interesting to see how she plays in this new role.
Felia hits both at the stripe, extends the Michigan lead to 3. Wiggins in for the Wolverines. Here comes Montgomery for the Wildcats. Daemen gets set offensively. McDuffie on the drive. Outside for 3 is Ivy. Left it short. Rebound Hobbs for the Wolverines, also newly checked in, finds Wiggins. Wiggins down the lane. Outside Kaiser thought about the 3. Pump fakes, drives. Finds Hobbs outside for 3, and she hits. Hobbs extends the Michigan lead to 6. It is 17-11, approaching a minute and a half to go here in the opening quarter of Michigan's season.
Really selfless play there by Kaiser. She thought about taking the 3, decides to pump fake, finding the wide open three-point shooter in Hobbs, and she converts and makes it worth it.
Montgomery tried to drive for Daemen on the other end, ended up missing. Ball went to Michigan. Then went out of bounds, but it'll stay with the Wolverines. So we'll see if Michigan can extend that lead to double digits potentially by the end of the quarter. Wiggins to inbound for the Wolverines. Kaiser inside. Good defense there by Ivy. Kaiser throws it up, throws it in, and the foul. Emily Kaiser with a magical shot, and she'll head to the line to extend that lead potentially to 9.
That was a Hunter Dickinson-esque kind of play by Emily Kaiser, just going back and forth, not lifting her pivot foot, just finding any sort of opening to see the basket, threw the ball up, gets fouled, and it goes in, and she'll have the chance for the 3-point play.
Daemen immediately responds with Maureen Markle. senior forward. Try to slow down Kaiser on the inside. 20-11. Michigan leads Daemen. Approaching a minute to go in the first quarter. Markle bounces it inside. Estrella lost it, threw it back. Markle now has it. Foul called on the floor. It will stay with Daemen. So Daemen rotating their forwards any way they can to try to stop Emily Kaiser on the inside. Kaiser has got 9 here in the opening quarter. 5 of those points are from the free throw line. So she's done a great job of drawing contact so far and generating points for her team. Page back into the ballgame. She hit 2 early threes, but has been relatively quiet since. Gets the offense going here for the Wildcats, who throws it away to Hobbs. Looked like Page was falling off balance, had to get rid of it. Hobbs was right there. Wiggins, right wing for the Wolverines. Cross court. Back up top is Hobbs. Finds Wiggins, right wing, tries to put the drive on. Page beat her to the spot. Camp Schroeder, it's a 3 in her first shot as a Wolverine, and their lead is extended to 12. How about that?
That was fantastic. Exactly what we expected out of Camp Schroeder. I know a lot of Michigan fans are really excited about her. I know the coaching staff's really excited from getting her, and she just adds an extra set of length and shot prowess on the offensive defensive side. And she just has another block there on defense. Camp Schroeder really making her presence known here.
Both sides of the ball. Goes right back to Kaiser inside. Big dribble up with the left. Foul called. Emily Kaiser. It's a common theme of this quarter. She will head to the line once again as Michigan has blown it open here. It is 23-10 they lead. Camp Schroeder, like you said, Jake, making an immediate impact. Hit the 3 in her first career shot attempt as a Wolverine. Then on the subsequent Daemen possession, she had a nice block. And she's listed as a guard, but she's got that size.
At 6 feet tall, she's one of the bigger players here on the court. That's really beneficial because she can also play multiple positions. I said she played shooting guard, small forward for Oregon State, so she has that versatility where Kim Barger-Rican can place her in many different positions, and she can still be very effective.
Kaiser hits both from the stripe. Michigan leads it 25-11. 10 seconds here. This is likely the last possession. Angeletti for Daemen. Hands McDuffie. Mid-range running hook is no good. The crowd might have thrown her off with the false countdown as the clock hits 0 here in the first quarter. Michigan started slow, but they picked it right back up. Emily Kaiser leads the group with 11. She matches Daemen's entire point total in the first quarter. 7 of 7 from the line for Emily Kaiser. 11 of 11 total for the Wolverines. And Michigan has not only put on a clinic interiorly offensively, but defensively in this opening quarter as well, Jake.
100%. As you said, Emily Kaiser, you could tell the game plan going into it was we're going to feed the ball into her in the post consistently. Although she might not be able to make every single layup, she'll get fouled. The Daemen defense just can't match up to her size-wise. So just by getting the ball into her, that's why she's gone to the free throw line 7 times in the first quarter. You can tell they're just trying to foul her. They said, we're not going to even let her shoot. We're just going to foul her. And Emily Kaiser's making them pay from the free throw line just as well as inside in the post.
You mentioned the size, or the lack thereof for Daemen. When Michigan begins to face bigger, stronger interiorly Big Ten opponents, how does that strategy change? You can't just throw your body at them.
I think that it does not change much. I think that's actually the same thing. Emily Kaiser is a very tall player on this court. As we just said, Camp Schroeder, 6 feet tall. Leah Brown is still pretty tall, and she can shoot from the outside. I think this team is very multifaceted, and having players that can shoot the 3 from the outside, but as well as sending it inside, drawing contact, getting layups. I think that was the game plan for the last 3 seasons for Michigan with Naz Hellman, with other players that are not here anymore. I think that'll carry through and be the exact same game plan this season as well.
Kaiser for the Wolverines leads in all statistical categories. 11 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists here in the first quarter. For the Wildcats of Daemen, Elena Page leads with 6. She had 2 early threes, but has been pretty quiet since. She also does have 3 turnovers.
Well, that also goes to the defensiveness of this Michigan team. They've been forcing a lot of turnovers. I don't know the exact statistics just yet, but the defensively, they're getting steals, they're getting blocks, and they're just causing bad passes on Daemen's end. And because of that, that's turning a lot of offense that Daemen could have into offense for Michigan, and that's why Michigan was able to blow this game wide open, now leading 25-11.
And to your point, Jake, on non-3-point attempts, Daemen is 1 of 9 through the first quarter. Michigan has been stout inside that 3-point arc on the defensive side of the ball. as we are just about set to start the second quarter here in Chrysler Arena. It's a nice Saturday. It's been nice weather in the latter part of October going into November, nicer than usual here in Ann Arbor. And what better way to experience that than walk out to a Michigan basketball game?
I know it's been great from our vantage point. Michigan in their white uniforms, Daemen in their blacks.
Certainly.
Michigan now moving from our left to our right from our vantage point. We're up here in the press box in Chrysler Arena. It's been a great view. It's been an awesome atmosphere as we start the second quarter.
Page will resume ball handling duties for the Wildcats. Good defense here by Wiggins. Already 17 on the shot clock, and Daemen hasn't done much offensively. Page finally gets a screen, and it's going to be a timeout. Daemen just struggled offensively to get anything going there. It's very lackluster, very slow, very lethargic. Michigan, credit to Wiggins for applying the pressure.
I was really impressed with Ari Wiggins in the first quarter, and now in the second quarter, right off the bat, causing a quick timeout. She's really trying to show a lot of promise this season. I know the coaching staff's really excited about her. She came off the bench last year in 16 games, but Kim Barnes-Arico claimed in the opening press conference that Wiggins is probably faster than anyone on the team and is very dynamic with the ball in her hands, which also goes to her defensive ability as well. So seeing her development and seeing how much she can do, as I just said, with the guard spot wide open, she's one of those players vying for time at the point guard position, and seeing her play really good defense to this point really bodes well for her chances.
Certainly, Ari Wiggins, part of that point guard rotation that you mentioned early, Jake, showing off the defensive capabilities there. As we head to another media timeout, Michigan leads at 25-11, only 17 seconds into the second quarter. As the Michigan PR team is putting on a little shoot-around, a lucky fan will have the chance to make a layup, a free throw, and the three-pointer.
He makes the free throw.
The layup and the free throw right away. The three is no good. What a nice form there. Juwan Howard might want to look into that.
He can't seem to make the shot, though.
Not much of a shooter.
Just airballed. Now hits off the back post.
We got one more shot here.
One more shot.
Buzzer beater.
No, any air balls.
Good start with the layup in the free throw, but
Looks promising.
Couldn't hit the three. Kind of the antithesis of what this game has been so far. I mean, both teams are shooting very well from downtown. Daemen, 3 of 5 from beyond the arc. Michigan, 2 of 3.
But you're right. I mean, the one area of improvement, in my opinion, that Michigan could go for right now is interior shooting. They've missed wide open layup attempts. Despite getting fouled in a few of them, they were still pretty easy shots that she should be making. But Lila Felia, 2 missed layups as well. So fixing that part of the game, that's why Michigan was so good last year. It felt like every layup attempt was going into the basket, despite the difficulty of it. So if they can improve their interior shooting, that'll make this team all the more better.
McDuffie inbound sideline for the Wildcats. 13 on the shot clock here. See if Daemen can get something going. Page again holding the ball. Wiggins stout defense. 7 on the shot clock. Wiggins still well beyond the arc. Good crossover to get inside. Page lost it. Wiggins fight for it on the ground. Whistle blown. Looks like it's going to be a jump. Excellent defensive possession to open up this second quarter for Michigan.
And that'll be Michigan ball there. So as you just said, Ari Wiggins, forcing a quick turnover off the bat. They couldn't get around it the first time. They called a timeout out of the timeout. Still, nonetheless, turnover, jump ball, Michigan ball. Ari Wiggins bringing the ball up now for Michigan.
Yep, and Wiggins will take ball handling duties for the Wolverines here. Kaiser thought about the three. That's the second consideration she's had. Nice dump off inside. Crockett layup is good. Excellent ball movement by Michigan. Crockett with a nice cut from the three-point line. Inside, she had a wide open layup, courtesy of an Emily Kaiser feed.
Michigan has a very notable size difference now on the court. They look a lot bigger than the Daemen team, so let's see if they continue to send it inside with at least this current Daemen lineup that's up right now on the court.
Page again. Shot clock winding down. Wiggins sticking right with her. Page brings it outside. Finds Zimborski, puts the shot up, left it short. Rebound goes to Daemen, though. It didn't hit the rim.
That air ball was probably due to the maze rage. Turned her timing off a little bit.
Camp Schroeder for 3. She's 2 of 2.
And that is exactly what you expect of Greta Camp Schroeder coming onto this team. They need a three-point specialist to complement their other players around them, and Camp Schroeder has been proving right off the bat. 2 for 2 from three-point land. Great on the defensive end as well. That bodes really well for this Michigan team.
McDuffie missed 2 shots. Michigan rebound. They lead 30-19 all of a sudden. Crockett had the layup earlier, lost the handle, got it back outside though. Hobbs directing that Michigan offense. Hobbs, right-handed dribble, a couple big steps, throws it up, missed it. Rebound goes to Angeletti. Nice feed, left side. McDuffie tries the three, left it short. McDuffie struggled shooting-wise this quarter for the Wildcats.
McDuffie, a transfer from Niagara County Community College, played really well the last 2 years.
As Hobbs off the dribble, just drew contact and got the bucket to go. So Michigan putting on a clinic from every spot on the floor offensively as it pertains to scoring. Their lead is 21.
And more than that, it's not just from the same players. You're seeing everyone get in the mix. We just had Hobbs with the and one opportunity here, not even in the starting lineup. So it's Camp Schroeder not in the starting lineup. So you're seeing not just the starters getting action, but the bench players are also really asserting themselves into this game and are taking chances and taking advantage of opportunities.
Free throw is good, so Hobbs completes the three-point play. To your point, Jake, Michigan 15 points off the bench. That accounts for nearly half their scoring.
And 4 more than all of Daemen's total points to this point.
Left side for the Wildcats, Hauer swings it right side to Pickett, newly checked in, our first action of the game. Michigan leads at 33-11, approaching 7.5 to go here in the second quarter. Off the dribble, Hauer goes. Michigan beat her to the spot, finds Motts back outside. 3, 2, 1 on the shot clock. Left-handed layup is no good. Daemen still has yet to score a point through 2.5 minutes in the second quarter as Michigan gets the rebound, draws the foul, so they will retain possession. Layla Felia back in for the Wolverines, as well as Leah Brown. Daemen employing a press here. Brown inbounds it clearly, and Daemen backs off. 33-11 here, approaching 7 to go in the second quarter. I'm Owen Klein along with Jake Singer for WCBN Sports. Stuck gets her right wing. Finds Nolan up top. Left-handed dribble, jump stop. Turns back around, finds her teammate Brown. Brown tries the three, airmail. Maybe a forced shot there from Leah Brown.
She can make those shots too. It's a really deep three-point shot, but she made a few of those last season. That was just probably a misjudgment of how far she was away from the basket, but don't expect too many more air balls from Leah Brown, one of the top scorers of this Michigan offense.
Montgomery gets inside for Daemen. Left-handed layup is no good. Got to the spot, just couldn't convert. Pass way up, left it short though, as Daemen picks it off. Michigan tried to catch Daemen lacking in transition. Daemen saw it coming though. They get the ball back. Motts for the Wildcats. Finds Estrella in the corner. Back up top, Montgomery. 15 on the shot clock. Hauer, another three. She's hit one before. This one misses. Rebound stuck. Finds her point guard, Felia. And Felia, left-handed dribble. Left-handed layup is no good. Ball out of bounds, fought for. Will stay with the Wolverines.
Layla Felia just can't find the bottom of the basket in these layup opportunities right now. It's 2 misses on the left-hand side, 1 from the right-hand side. Just something just to look out for because they are makeable layups. Now, again, it's an exhibition game, and she's made plenty of those before, but just something that she needs to continue to work on and something to look out for.
Michigan nearly got caught for another 5 seconds. Cameron Williams spins, foul called on the floor. As you're right, Michigan has missed some point-blank shots. This is the first game of the year for the Wolverines, however. They haven't played in half of a year. As Michigan basketball, both men and women's, starting back up here November. Kind of catches up on you, Jake, a little bit.
It has been crazy. These first 2 months have flown by. It feels like I was just here in Chrysler last season, but it's been a full year, but it's been a lot of fun.
Felia tries the three, no good. Rebound fought for and grabbed by Daemen. Ball stays with Michigan. A lot of contact there from Maddie Nolan. No whistle, though. They'll call it out of bounds on Elena Page and stay with the Wolverines.
Maddie Nolan putting her hands up saying, nope, not me. I'm not liable for anything, and the refs believed her, and Michigan will retain possession here in their own zone.
Nolan will inbound it sideline for the Wolverines. A little mix-up here with the refs. The officials.
I think it's a little wet on the floor, getting the scrubber to come
dry it off real quick. Should be a temporary break. 6 minutes and 5 seconds to go here in the second quarter. Michigan and Daemen were close early. Daemen actually led couple minutes into the first quarter, but Michigan exploded offensively, and they now lead by 22. It's 33-11. Leah Brown has her for the Wolverines. Left wing, finds Felia back up top. Felia, quick jab stripe, gets inside, stops, finds Nolan outside for three, and that goes. Maddie Nolan from downtown extends the Michigan lead to 25.
Everyone's getting involved now on the offensive side of the ball. Everyone's making threes. Everyone's driving. Everyone's getting fouled. This is a really nice team effort showing for the Michigan Wolverines. They lead 36-11 with 5:34 left in the second quarter.
McDuffie left wing. Finds Ivy inside. The Michigan natives dumps it back off to McDuffie on the inside. Couple pump fakes. Finally goes up and in. And it's taken half the quarter's time for Daemen to get their first point on the board. It's now 36-13. Nolan outside. Takes it off the dribble. Stops. Nice cut there by Leah Brown, who lays it up and in. Nolan got lost. Picked up the dribble. Brown had a nice back cut for an open layup.
That's money for Leah Brown. That's exactly what she knows she can bring, and that's going to be a make every single time.
McDuffie, quick dribble. Contact and foul is called. It's going to go on Michigan. We go with Felia on the foul. Wildcats retain possession. Just under 5 minutes to go here in the second quarter. It'll be Motts inbounding baseline for Daemen. Gets it in the corner for Ivy. Drives baseline. Tried to find Motts back in the corner, but pass got picked off by Maddie Nolan. Nolan gets it back right wing. Thought about the three. Now drives. Pump fake. Bounce pass inside. Got picked off by Daemen. Ball fought for. Scramble on the ground. Another jump ball. Pretty gritty game here early.
Verajao now in from Michigan as well. The niece of Anderson Verajao, the former NBA player, trying to get inside of her, force a jump ball. It'll be a turnover on Michigan, but nonetheless, a pretty cool storyline for Michigan.
Certainly very cool. Anderson, obviously NBA champion. Pretty unique look on that NBA floor. Many basketball fans know who he is just based on the headband and the poofy hair. His niece here for the Wolverines playing. Michigan leads at 38-13. Ivy lost the dribble. Now gets it back outside. McDuffie on the drive. Spins. Fading mid-range is no good off the rim. Rebound Williams. Here comes Leah Brown taking it up. She lost the dribble in the backcourt. She needs some help. And she will get it to Stuck. Calm everything down for the Wolverines. Leah guarded closely by McDuffie. Inside Williams, dribble and a spin, right-handed hook is good. That was beautiful there by Cameron Williams, and she drew the contact for the foul. So one time I wish we had audio or visual for you guys rather, because that was just a beautiful move.
It was a great move, especially by a player that hasn't seen as much action. That was a very professional move there, very experienced move, just asserting herself inside the middle of the court, not afraid to take it to the defender, and she'll get an and one opportunity like many of these Michigan players have gotten in this first half.
40-13 pending the Cameron Williams free throw. Couple dribbles, lets it go, and swish. So Michigan, a perfect 13 of 13 from the line.
Michigan's been fantastic from the free throw line, especially all of last season. They shot over 75% as a team. That's been one of their strongest suits, and seeing them 13 for 13 the line really bodes well, because this is a team that can mismatch in size and be more advantageous in size against their opponents, and if they're going to get fouled, they at least can make their free throws, and that'll just help the team all the more.
Ivy throws it out for the Wildcats. Ball will go back to Michigan. 3.5 remaining here in the second quarter. Michigan leads it 41-13. Perhaps time to empty the bench for Kim Barnes-Arico. As Kaiser gets it up top for the Wolverines. She's been busy all night. Fading layup is no good. Good rebound there by Motts for Daemen. Motts will bring it up.
Michigan playing a little bit of press now, just testing some different defensive things out. We might even see a little bit of zone later. Just seeing everything. It's like a glorified practice today for the team. So you're going to see a little bit of everything.
Page fires a three and connects from the corner. Good ball movement there from Daemen.
We haven't really seen her make a three since that first quarter, so seeing her make another one bodes well for Daemen.
Ophelia with a beautiful one-dribble mid-range there. Got to her spot and connected. So good response there by Ophelia. Back to Paige. She's 3 of 3 from downtown. She has made 3 of the total 8 threes here made in the game so far between both teams. Ophelia now on the fast break. Stops, mid-range is no good. Left it short. A rebound. Daemen. Estrella comes up with it. 43-16 Michigan leads.
It appeared Ophelia decided to take that mid-range, given she's had a little more success with those and even layups to this day. Might be in her head a little bit. She just needs to trust her game, continue to drive to the basket because she could force some turnovers. Force some fouls, I should say, and she's also just a lot bigger than the defenders.
And she just picked off a pass right there. Ball goes back to Michigan. Michigan has been outstanding defensively, especially off ball on those Daemen cuts, as Emily Kaiser leaves a 3 short, goes out of bounds. Michigan has been outstanding defensively, especially on those off-ball cuts. They haven't allowed anything inside, any backdoor bounce passes. They've just been very stout inside. To me, that's been very impressive, the most impressive thing so far.
100%. As Greta Kampschroeder comes back into the game for Michigan. We've got a minute 59 left here in the second quarter before halftime. Michigan up 43-16, but you're right. Michigan's been fantastic inside, both defensively and offensively, and that's really what allowed them to take this really ginormous lead here in the second quarter.
Estrella finds Angeletti. A couple big dribbles inside. Layup is good. Piece of work there by Angeletti to get it to go. First points of the game for her. 14 minutes. Bringing it up for the Wolverines is Seedorf back in, as well as Kampschroeder. So Michigan employing kind of a unit substitution here. Ophelia does stay in, however. Thought about the 3. Takes it back out with the dribble. She's guarded by Angeletti. Ophelia. Big dribble. Sizes up Angeletti. Mid-range is short. Rebound hustled for by Hobbs. Great hustle there. Good cut inside by Seedorf. Layup is good. Good hustle there by Michigan. Creates a Seedorf layup.
Little finger roll action there by Seedorf. Nice little spin on the ball going from the right-hand side. Just getting into the backboard and in for 2 for Seedorf.
Ivy for Daemen. Hands to Campbell. Campbell step back. Nowhere to go. Finds her teammate in the corner. It'll be Imborski. Hands it to Estrella. 3 on the shot clock. Estrella behind the back. Good help there by Kaiser. She stole it. 40 seconds to go here in the first half. Ophelia has the ball for the Wolverines.
You mentioned Paige Imborski of Daemen. She's actually the grandniece of former Michigan head basketball coach John Beilein. Little stat there for you. So a little bit of Michigan connection on this Daemen team.
It's a small world.
As we also mentioned at the top of the broadcast, Ivy is from Grand Rapids, Michigan, just 2 hours from here. So a few Michigan connections on this Daemen team, a little bit of a homecoming of sorts.
Certainly. Daemen with the ball here, 12 seconds to go in the first half. Imborski. Looked like she might have walked with it. Michigan blocked it, though. Here comes Hobb. Seconds to go. Hobb, floater is good! Oh, but they called an offensive foul, I believe. That baseline ref looked like he was pointing to an offensive foul.
It appears Hobbs is also now on the ground. They did call offensive foul on Jordan Hobbs. It's going to appear to be an and one buzzer beater opportunity, but they call the charge instead of the block. Hobbs gets out a little gingerly. Nonetheless, she looks to be okay as there's 0.5 seconds left here in the first half.
Simply a beautiful move by Hobbs. She went behind the back, threw up the floater, took the contact. Unfortunately, the officials viewed it as an offensive foul. Very close.
Nothing you can do if you're Hobbs in that situation.
Not at all. As the time runs out here in the first half, Michigan, an outstanding start to their season in this exhibition match against Daemen. They lead it 45-18. Storyline of the game so far is Michigan's interior defense. They've been dominant, not allowing Daemen to get anything. Also free throw shooting. Michigan 13 of 13 from the line.
I've just been impressed with the team aspect of the game so far. You know, Naz Hellman has notoriously been the player to handle a lot of Michigan's points last season, and with the loss of her, you need to fill that role. How are you going to maintain your high-scoring offense when you lose your best scorer? And as we said, Emily Kaiser, Leah Brown, Greta Kampschroeder, these players who are, you know, taking on that role, Maddie Nolan, even Lila Ophelia, like, all those starting players that are there now to fill that void are doing a fantastic job playing team ball. They're not being selfish. They're passing the ball well. They're finding the open players, and that is what allowed them to score 45 points here in the first half.
Oh, certainly. And Michigan, we've talked about it. Kind of a slow start to start that first quarter, but they immediately picked it back up. Michigan playing an excellent game to open up their season against a Daemen team that won their conference.
Daemen won their conference. Coach won Coach of the Year. They're a very high-powered Division II program. So coming into this game, yes, Daemen has proven they can score. They put up 51 points last week against Buffalo, another Division I team. They lost 61-51. So they have proven, even just this year alone, that they can score against the top competition and also play pretty good defense against top competition. But in this game so far, Michigan's sticking to their guns, sending the ball inside to Emily Kaiser. She's drawing fouls. You're letting Lila Filia get to work. She's creating her own shots. You're sending the ball outside to Greta Kampschroeder. She's making threes. Maddie Nolan's making threes. If all these things are working all season long, it's going to be very hard to beat this Michigan team.
Kaiser leads the Wolverines in scoring. She has 11, including 7 of 7 from the free throw line. Lila Filia, like you mentioned, has 6. Hobbs and Kampschroeder also have 6. Kampschroeder with a very efficient start to her Michigan career. 2 of 2 from the field, 2 of 2 from 3. The rebound and a block to her name in only 6 minutes of action. So she's been extremely efficient. She leads the Wolverine in plus minus with 20.
It's been a great game so far. As we hit halftime here, we're going to turn it over to our colleagues for the second half. Our esteemed colleagues Peter Nasr and KG Foley will be on the call in the second half.
It's been a pleasure, Jim.
Owen, it's been fantastic. Owen and I, longtime WCBA members, did a lot of broadcasts. I did basketball yesterday. It's been a lot of fun being here in Chrysler, especially for a game like Daemen where you get a chance to see a lot of players. I love doing games like this because it's not just the same storylines. You get to discover new storylines and see new players play that might not otherwise see the court in a normal game.
Certainly. And that's something I've very enjoyed, to see all these different players for both Michigan and Daemen. As we do turn it over to our colleagues, it has been a pleasure calling it with you guys. Enjoy the rest of the game here on WCBN Sports.
Thank you all. We will be back in 10 minutes for more coverage of women's basketball, Michigan versus Daemen. Stay right there.
Hello and welcome back to beautiful Ann Arbor, Michigan. We are inside the Chrysler Center for this women's basketball exhibition game between the 25th ranked Michigan Wolverines and the Division II Daemen Wildcats. Along with KG Foley, I'm Peter Nasr. And as we approach the start of the second half, the big story heading to this year is how are the Wolverines going to replace the dominant production of one of the greatest players to play at Chrysler, Naz Hillman. So for you, KG, who is that one player that stood out so far through this first half?
Well, replacing Naz Hillman is absolutely no easy feat, and I think the Wolverines probably realize that one player isn't going to be able to fill her shoes and fill in the points that she would bring in every game, averaging 21 points last season. So tonight I think we've seen a few players start to fill in some of the gaps that she's left. We've talked about Cam Schroeder, I think, but I think some of the other players that we've seen are Jordan Hobbs. I was really expecting her to be a player putting up a lot of points, and while she hasn't played a lot tonight, she did put up 6 points with a beautiful three. And so I've been really enjoying watching her play, and I'm also excited to see senior Michelle Cedar step into roles. As a senior, I think this team is known for having players develop in their later years on the court, and I think it's also probably her turn to step into the role and help fill in the shoes of a big star.
For sure, she had 4 points in that first half, and as we are nearing the start of the second half, 45-18 is the score. Michigan went on a 24-0 run.
That's insane.
Between the end of the first quarter, beginning of the second, and at that point it was 12-11. So Michigan really took a stranglehold on this game near the end of the first quarter, and they look to build on it here as the Michigan marching band serrates us with the victors. We're expecting to see. We expect head coach Kim Barnes-Arico to play everyone in the second half, get everyone involved here in the one and only exhibition game for the Wolverines. For Daemen, this is their second exhibition game. They lost by 10 to the Buffalo Bulls earlier. So for them, as Division II, they won their conference last year, but they lost their key contributors, so it's big for them to just keep fighting in this half and get the momentum as they...
Exhibition games are always beneficial for both teams, an opportunity to try new lineups, try new things, work on team chemistry in a really low-stake situation. There's, not a lot of risk on the line with, taking chances, putting new players on the court, letting people get a feel for college ball, especially for some of those freshmen or sophomores that didn't get a lot of time last year. Jordan Hobbs is one of those sophomores that didn't get a lot of time last year. So was Ari Wiggins. Those are a few players looking to start to make a bigger presence on the team, and exhibition's a great time to start testing that out.
Yeah, definitely. The crowd always can be intimidating for first-time players.
Absolutely.
So to get a feel of some in-game live action against some different people is definitely beneficial. Michigan will start with the ball here to begin the second half, inbounded, and Brown will take it up. She will take it up, dribbles out, drives it to her right. Inside looking to Williams. Kick out, fires the three is Nolan, who hits the three. Right away for the Wolverines. Maddie Nolan with the big three. 48-18.
Maddie Nolan has also been having a pretty standout game tonight. Expected to be another player to become a star, a little bit of a star this season.
Daemen taking up the court. Screen tries to get inside, but defended well, and Michigan will take control. Here comes Brown driving up, pull up, gets it to fall, a little roll. She got the roll to go, and Layla Brown gets a half-century mark for the Wolverines. It's 50-18. Angeletti near the three-point line, all the way across the court to Page, the leading scorer for Daemen in the first half. Three-pointer fired, and they got it. Ivy gets the three from the top of the key. Gets the Wildcats on the board here in the second half. 21 points for them, 50-21. As we approach a minute and a half in, Kaiser drives inside, can't get it to fall. Rebound, Daemen.
It's nice to see Kaiser also getting a lot of time on the court. And, she was a player that broke out last year after kind of having a quiet start to her career with the Wolverines. But she's one of those seniors that has been finding her place as a leader.
Yeah, definitely. As Page gets the layup to fall for Daemen. Leah Brown's going to take it up for the Wolverines at the block M. Looking for a screen, doesn't use it, drives to her left, pass it inside. Williams will make some push her inside, gets the layup with the left hand to fall, 52-23. Page takes it up for Wildcats. She hit 2 threes in the first, 3 threes in the first half, 4 for 4. She looked inside to McDuffie, but it's turned over, and here come the Wolverines. Felia drives inside, kick out, 3-pointer on the way, no good. Rebound by Daemen, and they're gonna try and push up the floor.
I really like watching the Wolverines have some confidence to take those 3-pointers. I mean, they've been shooting really well from the 3 tonight, averaging around 50%. And, points is going to be really big. Shooting is going to be really big. So far tonight, we've seen their defense be pretty tight and really intimidating, I think, to Daemen. But, I think shooting is going to be an area that will help pull them ahead in some of those more tougher competition games.
Yeah, definitely the defense forced a turnover. Wolverines have the ball now. Fires from the corner is Felia. She doesn't get it to fall. Battles for the rebound. Williams will get it, but she turns it over. Good effort play on the offensive rebound, but then as she was falling back, tried to play it out, and she turned the ball over, and Daemen gets the ball. It's Ivy drives inside. Ivy up for the layup is no good. Rebound Brown, and she's going to push the floor, push the pace, drives inside with her left hand, draws a foul.
That was a great drive by Leah Brown. Leah Brown was the second scorer behind Nez Holman last year, so she's probably expected to be one of the big scorers, putting up big points for the team this season. Maybe not tonight, because I think exhibition games are not really geared towards some of the more experienced players, and definitely more of a time for the younger players on the roster to get a feel for the court.
You did just think the first free throw that gave her 7 on this afternoon. Michigan has 14 for 14 from the line so far today. They've been attacking well, and they've been hitting the free throws when they get to the line, make it 15 for 15 as Layla Brown gets that one to fall. 54-23 Wolverines, 6:50 to go here in the third quarter. Double team pressure on the Wolverines, and they're going to draw. They're going to force Daemen to take a timeout just before the steal. So the Wildcats will get the timeout across. They'll have, I believe, two remaining here in this ball game. But for the Wolverines, adding the pressure, they've been pressuring all game long.
All this entire afternoon, they have had some serious pressure on defense. I mean, Maddie Nolan and Cameron Williams are very aggressive defenders. They get back really quickly. Maddie Nolan is always back at the end of the court during transitions, and she is a big player with just a lot of force and a lot of intimidation, and you can tell that when she's guarding somebody, they get a little overwhelmed by her.
Yeah, definitely playing in the Big Ten. I know this is just the exhibition game, but when you play in the Big Ten, you need that aggressive defense.
Absolutely.
You got some of the best players in the country in this conference. So being able to pressure, and obviously just the first official game next Wednesday against Delaware State. Just time to build for the Wolverines in this new chapter, coming off the best season in their program history, an Elite Eight.
How do you feel about their ranking right now and kind of where they're being placed against other teams?
Ranked 25th. They lost their best player, Nas Hillman. She was I expect her number to be raised here in Chrysler at some point soon. She got drafted in the WNBA, a great player. But I feel like it's a good spot for the Wolverines. They have to prove themselves without Nas Hillman. There would be times last season where they would just give it to her and let her work inside.
Absolutely.
Now you have to do other things. You can't lean on her solely. So for the Wolverines, and I think they have time to build that up, and they'll definitely grow as non-conference play goes, and then when they kick into Big Ten play, they have plenty of time to improve that ranking, and especially they face a lot of great competition in the Big Ten.
Yeah, I agree. I think being put, at number 25, despite the season they had last year, is going to force them to sort of be a little bit of an underdog and put in that extra work, like you said, to prove themselves. And there's definitely a lot of work to be done to figure out a new identity in a league that is usually dominated by a few teams. So looking forward to seeing them come into that this season.
I think Michigan embraces that underdog role, and
Absolutely.
I think they're going to thrive in that. I don't think it's necessary that they have to be favored coming into the season. I think they're going to be perfectly fine I think they're going to like having something to prove coming in.
For sure.
Daemen will play it up to the point. Pressure well by Williams at the point, and Daemen Force gets the screen. Ivy sets the screen.
Williams has been a force on the perimeter all night. Afternoon.
Yes,
It's 2 o'clock.
It's 2 o'clock here. As McDuffie misses that 3, she only has 2 points today. She was their leading scorer in their first exhibition game against the Bulls, but held just 1 for 8 from the field, and 1 there. Emily Kaiser gets it to fall with the foul. Ivy gets called for a 3rd foul. 56-23, and a chance to get 1 more. Michigan on 6-0 run. These past minute and 56. Free throw falls. Still perfect from the line are the Wolverines.
Great to see their free throw shooting be so accurate tonight. You know, in games where the lead won't be so vast, those free throws will always come into play.
In a college game, free throws are vital. You have to have good numbers at the line, take advantage of the free points.
Mm-hmm.
They have been doing that so far today, which is a great sign for the Wolverines. Tried to get the ball to McDuffie on the wing. It was deflected out, and with 5 seconds left on the shot clock, Daemen will maintain possession right in front of their bench. They will inbound.
I think that was a deflection off of Lila Felia, another player I wasn't expecting to see too much tonight, but she's a sophomore guard who started to make an appearance a lot at the end of last season as a freshman, which was exciting to watch. And hopefully she's another one of those players that figures out her college role and her college identity.
Mm-hmm. As Daemen is forced to heave a long-range 3 as the shot clock expired. It missed everything, and the Wolverines will take the control. Layla Brown will take it up. Crosses the timeline. 57-23 with 5:35 to go here in the 3rd quarter. Ball in the corner, Felia plays out to the point. It's Brown looking inside to Williams. Didn't get it deflected. Ball scrambled around. Williams will get it at the 3-point line. A couple passes, drives inside, fires the 3 as Felia, and she misses it short. Rebound, Angeletti for Daemen, who will take it up the court. Here comes McDuffie. Bodies flying on the ground.
It's been a very physical game tonight. Afternoon. I keep thinking it's the night.
It feels like a night. A little dark up here where we're situated here in the press box.
Definitely. There's also no windows in stadiums. I always lose track of what time of day it is.
Ball went out of bounds, and it looks like we have a timeout on the floor as we were under 5 minutes to play here in the 3rd quarter. 57-23, 4:54 as Mr. Brightside plays here in Chrysler Center.
With these exhibition games, how do you think teams, who pull ahead so far like this, can use what they're doing on the court tonight to their advantage? Just seeing the things that they can work on without getting too big-headed about the fact that they're winning by almost 34 points now.
Yeah, obviously facing a D2 program, you understand that you should be in this position, but I think at this point, the little things are what matters, and those are the things that definitely teams want to look at when they watch the film afterwards. You want to make sure that you clean up mistakes if you make them, and be able to take advantage of this opportunity to get reps in against another program before you start the games that matter. And for the Wolverines, they've done a good job at that. They've been shooting the ball well. They haven't turned it over too much. They've been pushed. They have been trying to force things in transition. So maybe knowing the advantage, they want to try and push the pace. And a couple of times it's led to turnovers. But you like the aggressiveness that the Wolverines have been showing. And as we mentioned a little bit ago, 16 for 16 from the free throw line is something that no matter the opponent, that's always a great thing to see.
Right. Whenever I watch basketball, especially professional basketball, and, they miss from the free throw line, it always gets me a little frustrated, it's like your one job.
Free throws win and lose games, and
they always do. Because, when these games get closer, every point will count. And it's little things like that might not be like a headline news, but it can be what brings a team ahead in critical moments.
Especially come tournament time when you're facing the powerhouses in the Big Ten.
right? And this is a team that has big goals for the season. I mean, in all the media and press that the team has done leading up to this season, they have talked about how they want to be in the Final Four, and that's where they want to see themselves at the end of this season. And it's a long road to get there, but, you know, if you have that goal in mind, you got to make everything towards that, with that in mind. So you got to push everything to be the best it can be.
Yeah, definitely. Past 2 seasons for the Wolverines, they've broken their previous record, as we have Daemen inbounding it from the end line. Once again, the Michigan defense is pressuring Daemen hard. Ivy inside, makes a move, tried to get a layup, blocked by Williams. It goes out of bounds, and with 6 seconds left on the shot clock, Daemen will retain possession. McDuffie to inbound for the Wildcats. Shot clock winding down. Angeletti's forced to put one up, and she can't get to fall. Ball's loose and picked up by the Wolverines, and then it's turned over right back to Daemen. Couldn't get a complete control, and blocked. Fires a 3 though, is Pickett, and she gets it to fall.
That was a tough defensive moment for Michigan, unable to get the ball out after a couple opportunities.
You definitely got to be able to, plus the turnover as they try to move the ball after forcing a really good defensive possession that's time before. Felia fires from the free throw line. She gets it to fall. 59-26, 3:55 to go here in quarter number 3. Match taking the ball for the Wildcats right now. Looking, passes it out, drives inside, blocking foul called. The referee saying she was not set. The foul's going to go on Kaiser.
It's a little bit like a charge to me, but I guess I could see that call going that way.
They're saying she got there just a little too late, forces a block, and it will send Daemen to the free throw line. They've only shot 2 free throws today.
Yeah.
0 for 2 as well. So
I mean, I think that just goes to show how clean Michigan's defense has been. I mean, I've been noticing that they've had their hands up, have been using their bodies, haven't been reaching, haven't been pushing. They're using their entire presence to be intimidating, and they've been really clean with their defense, making sure not to overfoul.
yeah, it's definitely props to them to keep them off the line. The first free throw misses. For 3 total in this game on the line for Daemen. The second one also misses, rebounded out, and here come the Wolverines with possession.
Jordan Hobbs back on the court for some time right now.
Vila tries to drive inside, well defended. She's forced to.
Felia has been really smart on the court. I feel like she has a really high basketball IQ. You know, she knows when to stop driving. She knows when to get out of the paint, and she knows when to make a good pass.
Nick Kaiser with the jumper there. She's been 4 for 10 from the field so far today. 16 points, the leading score for the Wolverines. More pressure defense for Michigan on Daemen. And Broski had the ball. Broski at the point. Hands it off to Ivy. Ivy trying to find a lane to drive to, but she doesn't really have anything. And she's forced to pick up her dribble looking. Kicks it back out to Broski, who has been forced down across the 3-point line. They don't even get a shot away.
I feel like that's happened multiple times where Michigan has forced that shot clock to run out on Daemen. And again, just a testament to the intimidation of their defense that, you know, Daemen can't even try anything. They don't even want to go to the net because they don't really see any success in that.
They played really well defensively, these Wolverines, as Wiggins takes the ball up the floor. 61-26 is your score. Tries to make a move is Cedor. Fires a 3. Clanks off the iron. Rebound to Daemen. Wildcats taking across the timeline. Pass is turned over. Here comes Cam Schroeder by herself. Goes up for the layup and it's defended away. No foul called, but it will stay with the Wolverines. Being aggressive after to get the turnover, not trying to set things up offensively. We want to go attack the rim immediately. tried to draw a foul, did not, but they will retain possession, the Wolverines. To inbound into Sidor. Pressured one-on-one. Here's Wiggins. Skips pass, fires a three, no good. Rebound by Kaiser, but then she gets it stripped, and Daemen will control. They're under 2 minutes to go here in the third quarter, 61-26.
Some strong defense there from Daemen in that possession. They were able to be aggressive enough under the net to make sure that nothing went up.
They gave up the offensive rebound, but stayed with it. A double move there, and then tipped outside, out of bounds, and Wildcats will retain. Wildcats have not scored in past 2:24, and they have 4 turnovers in the past 6 minutes. Almost had their 5th. The ball was tipped, and it's loose on the ground. Kick out, moving the ball is Daemen with 1 second left on the shot clock, and the shot was blocked, and it doesn't hit the rim, and the shot clock violation once again.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things I've been noticing tonight is Michigan's a tall team. I mean, they have a lot of really tall players, and with height comes wingspan. And a lot of those passing throughways for Daemen have been blocked. There's been plenty of blocks, plenty of interceptions, and the Wolverines have been able to take up a lot of space on the court.
As the three-pointer's missed, but the rebound goes in by Kaiser. She'll put it up with the layup. Daemen trying to push it up the floor right now, though. Body inside is Howard, but she gets turned over, and here comes Sidor on the break, but she dribbled the ball just a little too far for her to control, and she turns it over, and Daemen will get it back as a sort of track meet has come out these past few seconds here. Daemen trying to set something up, though, and they will. Howard looking inside, draws the foul as the pass into Montgomery. Foul on the floor.
Michelle Sidor has been making some big plays on defense, causing a lot of transitions, but having a little bit of trouble settling and finishing on the other end. You know, she's looking to have her breakout senior year, and I think she's realizing now she's in a position to do that. You know, she's in a position to be a key player to make those plays, and I think she's going to need to learn how to finish them.
Yeah, definitely. She subbed out Kate Clark is in for her first action of the game, as we expect the entire bench to see action here in this final quarter plus. Ball is loose after a layup missed by Daemen, and a foul called, and it looks like it'll be on the Wildcats, and Michigan will get the ball. 30.7 seconds left, so the shot clock will be on here in this potential final possession of the third quarter. And it'll be Wiggins who will take it up for the Wolverines. She's held out of the score sheet, but she does have 3 assists and 2 rebounds today in 9 minutes. Crockett to Wiggins, back inside looking for Crockett. Crockett makes a move, turns around, layup with her right hand is good. And then turned over on the inbound. And fires the layup, it's no good. Sidor, a little too wild with that layup. And then time runs out, and that's the end of a fastest third quarter here. Wolverines lead 65-26.
Yeah, not a lot of whistles during that. It was sort of just a back and forth, usually with the Wolverines finishing at some point. So speedy quarter there. But at the end, we saw 2 freshmen make a really nice play. Kate Clark was able to find Crockett in the paint, and she was able to finish. It's nice to see freshmen getting a chance to play during these early exhibition games. You know, there's something to be said about a team that it takes a few years to get really strong. I think there's a lot of pros in that, but I also think there's some cons, you know, holding off on your players really developing from high school to college play. So, again, we were talking about the importance of exhibition games, and one of those things is helping freshmen acclimate to a whole new environment. I mean, this is not a high school court. This is not a high school environment. So.
As a T-shirt flew just in front of us from the T-shirt toss here.
I could use a free T-shirt.
I'd love a free T-shirt. I don't know if maybe some of the cheerleaders will try to hit us up here in the lower part of the upper deck. Michigan finishing the third quarter on an 8-0 run over the past 4 minutes. They've been forcing a lot of turnovers, 7 turnovers. were forced by Daemen had 7 turnovers in that third quarter. Michigan's been pressuring defense very well today, as we've alluded to during the broadcast.
Yeah, I think their defense is only getting stronger as Daemen is probably getting tired. It's a lot of energy to keep up with the Wolverines, especially when you're a D2 team. So I think stamina is probably going to come into play in this fourth quarter, and this lead could maybe stretch even further than it is right now. I hope that the Coach Barnes keeps some of the freshmen in, give them a chance to figure things out. She's been really excited to talk about her freshmen. There's 3 new freshmen this year, and in press conferences she said that they have already made a presence in practice, have been able to mesh really well, are quick learners, and are ready to be a part of that really work-hard mindset that this team has.
Yeah, this team has definitely embraced the culture, and you've seen it with the recent success, a Sweet 16 appearance in 2021, and then last season their first ever Elite 8 appearance. Daemen will control here to start the fourth quarter. Up to the points, McDuffie still held to 1 for 8 from the field. She's struggled to shoot, and they've defended well. The Wolverines have kept her uncomfortable all game long. Matz plays it inside. Angeletti, who kicks it out, blocked. McDuffie was firing the 3, and it was blocked and out of bounds. And with 5 seconds left on the shot clock, Daemen will control underneath, see if they can get something, an opportunity here these last few seconds. Drives McDuffie, fires it as the shot clock expires, and it's no good. And then she fouls McDuffie, maybe a frustration foul. She has missed again. Went for the rebound and then hacked at the Wolverines. So Michigan will get possession. Wiggins will take it up the floor for them.
Michigan has had 8 blocks tonight to Daemen's 0 blocks. So the defense and their wingspan have really been working for them.
It definitely has drives and a kick out. Michigan's moves the ball really well today. As you see there, fires the 3. Seedorf, and she got it. Top of the key, she was left wide open due to great ball movement. And the Wolverines take a 68-26 lead here, minute into the fourth quarter,
Really great to see that offense settle and see it follow through at the end with Cedar.
They've done a really good job moving the ball, finding the open one more. It's always one more. You'll find that open person when you keep the ball moving, and they did there on that possession.
And it all started with the kick out from a freshman. I think Kate Clark was the one that kicked it out. Yeah,
I believe so. Speaking of Clay Cart, she was charged their first foul, and Daemen still has yet to make a free throw, 0 for 5.
Yeah, definitely one of the things that separates these teams and shows the underlying skill difference that will obviously be there between 2 different divisions.
Ivy misses them both from the line, and the Wolverines will take it up, and they're going to move it with a little bit of pace here. Seedorf at the point, kicks it out to the corner, fires a 3, no good. Rebound McDuffie. She'll take it up for Daemen. Daemen trying to push it here. It's McDuffie again. Forced to pick up her dribble, though. They've done that a lot. Michigan defense forcing the ball picked up, and they force the turnover. Great job by the Wolverines, forcing McDuffie to pick the ball up, and then she was swarmed. Couldn't get anything to go, and she stepped out of bounds. And the Wolverines will get the ball. Wiggins will take it up.
Wolverines 11, Greta, has had some really clean defense tonight, absolutely halting the Daemen player with the ball.
Skip pass and one more, fires a 3, got it! Camp Schroeder for 3, her 3rd of the game.
Wow, from defense to offense, that all started with her right there.
And a turnover there, and Michigan will get the ball right back, 71-26.
A
substitution coming up. Daemen will make a sub here. 8:02 to go here in the fourth quarter. Wiggins once again will take the ball up.
Despite the big point difference, Daemen is still playing. They're still here, and they're still trying to give Michigan a run for their money with every possession.
Yeah, and they force a turnover there, and Daemen, the reigning champions of the East Coast Conference. Also, they made the Sweet 16 in their Division II tournament, so they had a very successful season last year, 16-1 in conference play last year. So for the Wildcats, as and one gets to go, Angeletti drove inside and drew the foul. As George Blaha would say, count that baby and foul. Daemen getting on the board there.
Yeah. Angeletti's been a star player for Daemen tonight in the paint, making a lot of drives, finding success with them, and definitely being a strong force against Michigan's intimidating defense.
Yeah, only 4 points. No individual play for Daemen has any high totals. They only have 28 as a team, but they're, as the ball is deflected, Michigan will retain possession. Daemen putting a little pressure after missing another free throw. They're 0 for 7 from the line today, which is probably one thing that the coaching staff for the Wildcats will be sure to emphasize in practice before their season gets underway.
Absolutely. I mean, 7 points is 7 points that could be on the board for them right now. So
drives inside and a little fadeaway is no good by Camp Schroeder. McDuffie controls for the Wildcats, moving the offense around. Inside, it's Angeletti, tries to drive again. She lays it up and draws another foul. Angeletti has been aggressive these past 2 series for the Wildcats, drawing 2 fouls, making the first layup. This time the layup is no good, but she draws a foul, and timeout Wolverines with 6:59 to go here in the 4th quarter.
I would imagine this timeout is probably just a chance to give them a little break. I imagine there could be a lineup change coming soon to try out some new combinations, try out some new point guards. I mean, looking for a point guard is really what Michigan needs right now. So I think trying to find that combination is going to be something on the forefront of their agenda the next couple games.
With 7 to go, you have time to try out some different lineups. Try out if you've seen some things in practice that you want to test out. This is the best time to do that.
Yeah. I would like to see them try to run some plays, maybe try to, do some of those more cool, fun things that, you don't always get to do against some tougher teams. But, a lot to be proud of for this game, but always things to see to work on. So.
Yeah, definitely. You got the cheerleaders and the cheer team and the band keeping things entertaining here inside Chrysler Center.
It's really an exciting turnout for an exhibition game, actually. I mean, there's good people here. I guess this is a nice little afternoon activity on a Saturday.
Aside from the wind outside, it's quite windy out there. Might be raining. We do not know. Looks like it might rain before we got in here. We'll see.
Arenas are like casinos. They don't want you to know.
Yeah, you have no idea what's going on.
You have no idea what's going on in the world.
Outside the walls here of beautiful Chrysler Center.
Yeah, I mean, so lucky to be able to play in this arena, but it's definitely an intimidating thing for a high school student. I mean, if I was going from high school sports to playing in a professional grade arena, I mean, it's naive to think that wouldn't affect your game, wouldn't affect your confidence. And I think that's something that every college team has to take into consideration when they bring in their recruiting class, when they bring in a new team. And it's always up to the older players to help them acclimate to a brand new environment.
Yeah, definitely. You don't have bands playing and fans cheering during practice, so it's always good to, especially for Daemen, the D2 school. They probably don't see crowds this big for many games at all. So it's a good experience for the Wildcats.
Right. It also doesn't help right now for Daemen that their free throws are facing the really animated band today. They have a lot of energy over there.
They've been excited.
They've been excited. They've been heckling.
And gets the free throw to fall, the first of the game for the Wildcats. But yeah, the band has definitely been enjoying themselves today.
Absolutely.
Angela gets them both to fall. So 71-31. Wiggins up the floor for the Wolverines. Camp Schroeder tried to good movement by the Wolverines. Back to Camp Schroeder, looked for the 3, didn't have it. She'll take it to her right, passes it inside, and a kick out. One more, and they're swinging across the 3-point line. Great ball movement on that possession.
Wow.
The Wolverines finish it, and just at least stuck getting on the board, but great ball movement 5-6 passes in a row, keeping the defense moving, and eventually you'll find the open player, and they did there. An easy layup for the Wolverines.
Nice to see Elise on the court and getting on the board. She's a pretty versatile junior who fills in a lot of different positions and roles on this team.
Montgomery drove inside for the Wildcats, and it was defended well and blocked out of bounds, but Wolverines will get possession. Wiggins brings it up the floor.
Wiggins' ball movement tonight has been really fun to watch at the front there.
She's done a really good job. She's been passing the ball really well. Quick passes, not holding onto the ball too long, which gives the defense time to set up. Turnover here, though, and Daemen tried to push it forward for a fast break opportunity, but passed a little too far out of play, past the hands of Montgomery, and the Wolverines. Another turnover for Daemen. Michigan possession, 73-30.
Daemen's been trying to run past that Wolverine defense a few times because I think they realize once they set up that perimeter, it's a pretty tough wall to break through.
They haven't had too much success in the offense, trying to get something moving. More passing, but that one a little too aggressive there. The driving kick out, a tough pass, and it was deflected away. But the Wolverines will retain. Wiggins will take it out here. Stuck out to Wiggins. Wiggins takes it inside, finds a lane, gets the layup rolling, and somehow decides to not go in today.
Was up there for a few seconds.
The Wildcats will control. And Broski has it, looking, plays it out to Estrella. Inside, Angeletti kicks out, fires the three, and Broski, she gets it no good. Rebound Wiggins, and she'll start pushing it, pushes it way up. What a pass. And the layup is good by Crockett. Crockett doing a good job filling in the center lane, and a good feed by Wiggins, 75-30.
Crockett was a pretty big recruit for the Wolverines. She was ranked number 48 in the recruiting class. So she might be a freshman that gets some time on the court. But the coach has been pretty clear that she's not sure where the freshman will fall in the lineup just yet.
And a foul on the three-pointer will send, I believe, I missed who fired the three. But speaking of Crockett real fast, she has 6 points, 3 for 3 from the field, and 2 rebounds in 11 minutes. So she has looked good here in this exhibition tilt.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, helping build confidence right now is definitely key into figuring out if she can be a real player later on in the competitive season.
This camp shooter who's fouled on the three, so she'll get 3 free throws, makes the first. She has 2 more left. Gets the second one to go. Trying to keep the perfect free throw line intact.
Yeah, it's a pretty impressive stat. You don't see that often at any level, really. So, there we go. We jinxed it. We shouldn't have said anything.
For 19 on the line.
Still really impressive numbers.
Yeah, definitely very good. We apologize for jinxing that one. Luckily, it should not have an effect on the outcome of this game, but
I don't know.
I've seen crazier things in my time of watching sports, but this game should be in hand, but the Wolverines definitely want to finish strong and take that momentum to their tilt Wednesday against Delaware State, who will come here to Chrysler to start the season. Wolverines possession. Cam Schroeder into the corner, driving and a kick out. 2 seconds left on the shot clock. Cam Schroeder tried to get a laughing heave off. She did, but it missed the rim, so the shot clock violation will be called. And Daemen will get possession, 77-30 with 4:10 to play here in the final quarter.
Their passing has been really strong. I mean, they've done a couple really long cross-court, hard chest passes that have been really accurate and hard to defend.
Michigan forces a missed hook shot. And they'll push it up. Cam Schroeder kicks out into the corner. Stuck to Wiggins. Wiggins tried to feed it into Stuck. Stuck tried to cross it, but it hit the net as she was trying to pass it. And it goes out of bounds. Deflected, though, by Daemen after hitting the net and out of play. Michigan will retain.
A physical play right there. A lot of
Hobbs
Contact.
here at the point, yep. 9 seconds to go in the shot clock. Hobbs out to Wiggins. Wiggins feeds it inside. And a travel called on Camp Schroeder. Turnover for the Wolverines. And Daemen will get possession. 3.5 to go here in the final frame.
Seems like we're at a lost track there of her pivoting and her dribbling, causing a turnover.
Daemen they use the screen, fired the jumper, did not fall, and Camp Schroeder picks up the rebound and pushes that forward for the Wolverines. Kick out to Hobbs for 3, no good. Rebound, loose, and Hobbs will get it back to the corner. Camp Schroeder drives inside, and she got it to go. What a move by Camp Schroeder. Fakes the 3, drove inside down the baseline, and got the layup to fall, 79 to 30.
Kim Schroeder has been a lot of fun to watch in this game.
She's got 13 points on 4 for 6 shooting and 3 for 4 from 3. And a turnover, and here comes Clark taking out for Michigan.
Smart to slow it down there.
And to slow it down, back to Clark. At this point, you don't need to force anything. Hobbs inside. What ball movement for 3.
Wow.
Got it for 3. Camp Schroeder in the corner.
Wow.
What movement there, using the post as a sort of as a way to get the ball moving, and it worked there. 82-30.
Michigan currently on an 11-0 run in 4 minutes. And a lot of that has been Camp Schroeder.
Yeah, she's got 16 now. Ball goes out of bounds. We got some subs coming in for both sides. Camp Schroeder coming off, probably end of her night for sure. She had a great game for the Wolverines.
Yeah. Definitely an exciting addition to this team. A transfer from Oregon. She was looking for a little bit more of a priority of work ethic, and I think she might have found her match.
Cedar back in. She has the ball for the Wolverines. Fired was Hobbs, who pulled up. She did not get it to fall, though. There are under 2 minutes to go here in this 4th quarter from Chrysler Center. This game in hand for the Wolverines. Just want to finish it injury-free.
Yeah, no need to get any injuries right now.
And just get ready for the season to start on Wednesday.
Absolutely. I mean, this team has some potential to have a pretty deep bench with a lot of versatility. So keeping all those players healthy and keeping everyone in good spirits, good chemistry, can allow for a lot more change-up and different lineups in the future.
11 players in double-digit minutes today for the Wolverines. Clark will pass that these last minute and a half, so 12 players for the Wolverines will get double-digit minutes today as Daemen sinks both free throws again. They've gotten hot from the free throw line. It's a 50-point game here with a minute and a half to go. Wiggins doubled, kicks out across the court. What ball movement?
Again.
Brings it around, and Wiggins for 3, no good. But great job, Wiggins cross court, and then they just swung it around the 3-point line, right back to Wiggins, who fired a good look, a good take, just couldn't get to fall.
I'm a big fan of 3-point game, and I think we've seen a lot of that tonight from the Wolverines. Not a fear to take the shot, and a lot of accuracy with the shooting itself. So
Wiggins then forced a turnover and led the fast break, who fed it out and got the layup to fall. We are under a minute to go here. Tune in tonight, 7:30. The Michigan football team will be playing in Piscataway against Rutgers, the 5th-ranked Wolverines. We will be on, not me personally, I'm not going to be in Rutgers, but WCBN will be covering that game, so make sure to tune in here on YouTube as Daemen gets the layup, no good. Final possession probably for the Wolverines. 30 seconds to go. At this point, probably just take the timeout, run the clock down, maybe get a shot at the end here, or just take the shot clock violation. Hobbs will dribble around. Oh, Wiggins, Daemen fighting, gets the jump ball.
yeah, it's not over till it's over for Daemen.
The arrow favors the Wolverines, so they do retain possession. 9 seconds to go on the shot clock. 13.8 in the game. Wiggins feeds it inside, kicks out corner 3. Clark got it for 3.
That's awesome. That's so great for Clark.
The icing on the cake here and a great exhibition tilt. And the final horn sounds, and the 25th ranked Wolverines with the 87-32 win over the Daemen Wildcats. And what a performance for the Wolverines. KG, what was one final take after that performance today? What stood out for you?
What stood out for me is this is a really strong shooting team, which is exactly what they need to be after losing a star shooter, a star scorer, someone whose role can't be filled by one person. So seeing a lot of players take on that responsibility of shooting from the three-point line, shooting from, making those free throws that count, because that was 20 free points that Michigan got tonight, basically, or maybe 18.
19.
So understanding the importance of every point, and that, even if a player only puts up 4 points, that's still important because, you've lost that one star that was putting up 20. So
Michigan 30 for 60 from the field, 50% shooting, 40% from 3, 95% at the line.
yeah, that's so awesome to see, and something that could be really critical in future games. Also, a lot of great passing, a lot of great movement. What did you think about their defense?
I thought they were pressuring throughout the game, even when the game was pretty much out of reach. They were still playing hard defensively, and you're gonna. That's exactly what you want to see in an exhibition game as you move forward into the non-conference schedule. Delaware State, once again, that's their first game on Wednesday. But overall, you gotta be happy for the Wolverines, building momentum, and getting ready for what should be an exciting season of Michigan basketball.
It's a long road to the Final Four, but they're starting on the right foot, so it's really exciting. And I'm looking forward to the rest of the season, and I hope everyone tunes in and follows.
Yeah, it's going to be an exciting one. But as for today, that's all we have for you today. For Jake Singer, Owen Klein, KG Foley, I'm Peter Nasr. Thanks for tuning in for this women's basketball tilt. Final score from Chrysler, Michigan 87, Daemen 32. Thank you, everyone. Have a great rest of your afternoon, and go blue.